Hey everyone, my name is Rachel and I am here with my awesome assistant Ashley and with author Theresa Paola. I can never say your name right. And
You said it right.
Yes! Welcome to the Book Affair
High
Chat.
five.
High five. Ashley, say hi.
Hi! I think, yeah, there we go. Hi!
So we're going to kick things off. Ashley, do you want to start things off with the first question?
Sure. Theresa,
Pressure.
tell us a little bit about Once Again.
Oh, the hard questions. No. It's about Josh, who is from Never Again. He was the sister. He was the brother of the main character, and he is a victim of a school shooting. And basically, in the first chapter, a home health aide shows up, and it is his ex, his first love, and the girl that he's never got over. And then it just goes from there.
Wow.
So I guess you can sum it up. It's basically about forgiveness, regrets, and then that's about it.
Oh, wow, that sounds
Just
so
went blank.
good.
It's really
Thank
good.
you.
I've read it. It's really good. I've totally fangirled all through it. It was awesome.
Oh, cool. And it released today?
It released yesterday,
Oh, yesterday. Nice.
but I was away, so I had the release party today.
Oh, fun. Well, that's very cool. Well, let's kick things off with a fan question. This is from Susie. She said, since Teresa's latest novel, Once Again, was done in a guy's point of view, I'm curious about that. Was writing a guy's POV easy compared to a girl's? Does she have any other projects she's working on that are in guys' POV? And any advice on how to get it right? That was a long question.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to take it in parts. So writing a guy point of view, not easy, very hard. Thank you, my critique partners, because without them, he could have sounded girly, because there's certain things that you say and you don't realize. So there was a lot of going back, rereading, and making sure that I wasn't dragging anything out too long or getting too into it, because guys are kind of to the point. And I do plan on doing another guy point of view. And as far as advice, it's just they don't overthink things, I feel like, so you kind of just have to get to the point and not dwell on things. They're very straightforward. At least I think so, and that's how I write them.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's really cool. Well, do you have any, because she asked also, do you have any advice on how to get it right? Just any advice for anyone trying to write that way?
Really, just pay attention when guys are talking and just listen to them. Honestly, that's what I did. And also I went to my boyfriend a lot, and I would read something and I'd be like, is this something you would say? Because there's certain words too that guys don't say and you don't realize it. So I would actually ask him and say, read whatever part it was and say, does this sound authentic to a guy, or what should I change? So you really have to work with, I think, a guy to get it right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And just observe them.
Okay, I have a question from Lynn. What motivated you to write, and are you interested in any other genres?
What motivated me? I've always kind of wanted to be a writer. I think I wrote my first picture book when I was 6 or 7, and then I just kept writing ever since then. I mean, it changed. I wanted to be a journalist and travel the world. I wanted to be a columnist. I wanted to do an advice column, what I was thinking. So it constantly changed, but it always kept coming back to writing stories. And different genre, definitely. I've actually have dabbled in a little bit, and I'm hoping to do something with it. I just have to find the time.
That's very cool. Kayla has a question, and she wants to know what or who is your biggest inspiration?
Inspiration? I always say my mom.
Oh,
Yeah, just my mom, because she's awesome.
there you go. That's always a good one.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go writing, inspiration as far as different writers, it would probably start with Sarah Dessen, the young adult writer, because I actually hated writing, and hated reading for a very long time, and then I discovered her, and then I just started writing after that, and then I met her last year, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I would have fangirled too.
Oh, I did. I did
I
so
would
bad.
as well.
It was embarrassing. I had to apologize to her on Twitter, but then she followed me, and now I say we're friends.
If you're friends on Twitter, then you're friends in real life. I say I'm friends with Nathan Fillion all the time.
Exactly.
I'm not a nerd, I promise.
Okay. Question. Okay, so this is like a follow-up to the one by Kayla. This is from Stacy. What is the strangest place inspiration has struck you?
I should say in the shower because that always happens, and I never have a pen, and I can't write anything down. I'm like running out with a towel trying to find pen and paper. But it just hits me anywhere. I drive an hour to work every day and an hour home, so it would just be in the car, and all of a sudden something will just hit me, and then again I can't write, so sometimes I pull over just to write it down because I say I'm going to remember and I never do. I also have been woken up in the middle of the night. But yeah, probably the shower.
You need to get one of those like writing like shower markers. I feel like they make them for kids.
They
and you
do.
just
They actually make pen and paper for the shower. I discovered it. I think on Pinterest.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
I haven't bought it yet, but I need to.
So Jennifer, this is kind of a follow-up to the follow-up, but not really. Jennifer, do you have a writing ritual?
No.
No.
I don't.
All right.
Like as far as like I'm trying to say like as far as like a routine or something, definitely not. I write whenever I can. I work full time, and like I said, I work an hour away, so that takes up a huge chunk of my day. Mm-hmm. So I will write on my lunch break sometimes. As soon as I get home, I'll start writing, and I could be at my desk right here. I could be on the couch. I could be in the car, which I was for 6 hours yesterday, and I got some writing done.
Oh, wow.
So there's no ritual. I'm a pantser when I'm writing, and everything the same.
So you don't have any like candy or stuff that you have to eat or anything like that?
No, I mean sometimes Cheez-Its. Those are like my all-time fave, so I'll snack on those. And then in the morning, usually coffee or tea, and I'm a total wino, so a glass of wine at night is perfect.
There you go.
Wow. I have a question from Colleen. How did you decide on what genre you wanted to write?
Well, I actually used to write, well, no, it's always been romance. Always, any story I ever wrote has always gone back to the romance, and I can't get rid of it. And even when I try to write things that don't have romance in it, they always wind up popping up. So if it's always contemporary, it's always romance, but I'll eventually branch out, but romance will always be involved.
Nice. That's what I always say that I like to read anything as long as it has some form of romance in it.
Exactly. I have a really hard time reading something without it.
So do I. I like a little bit of a love story as long as there's something, you know.
Exactly. Like I need to root for something. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So moving on from Colleen, Samantha has a question. She wants to know who are your inspirations, alive or not, in the writing world? So.
Okay, well, I said Sarah Dessen, so that's definitely. I'd say her, and then actually in Never Again, my first book, in my acknowledgments, I put Sarah Dessen. I also put Haley Abbott because I discovered her books, and like I said, I hated reading in school, and I discovered her books, and R.L. Stine. He's also in my acknowledgments, and I started loving to read after finding them, so I consider them my inspiration to getting me to where I am.
Nice.
Right. I used to read Haley Abbott. I love her. I actually forgot about her.
Amazing? Yes.
Yeah, I really did. Like all the Boys of Summer or whatever.
Yes, Summer Girls, Boys. Yes.
They were so good.
Amazing. And that's what I started out writing, was just young adult, strictly young adult, but now I'm in new adult.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Will we be seeing more of Josh and Kat in upcoming books?
I hope so. That's all I could say. I would love to write several different stories from different characters within the books, but I really want to write Justin's story, which is Kat's brother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Lynn wants to know, when you write, is it complete silence, or do you have like music or TV or something going on?
I always have to have something on in the background. I don't necessarily have to be paying attention to it, but I usually put on like a movie I've seen 900 times, like, I don't know, Empire Records or, 13 Going on 30 or something like that is usually on in the background. And I usually don't listen to music, but for some reason with Once Again, there was a few songs that just really hit me and was like, that's Josh and Kat's song, and I just listened to those over and over again. But usually it's just the TV in the background.
What songs were those?
I have a playlist, and now I'm... Ooh. Okay, so it's Bruno Mars, because I love him.
Yeah.
Just the Way You Are, because Kat does sing that to Josh. And there's also... What's the name of it? Look, I'm going to have to go look it up. Give me a minute. I have it right here. It's like my favorite song. Oh, When I Was Your Man. And then Ron Pope, A Drop in the Ocean. Philip Phillips, Gone, Gone, Gone. Parachute, The Mess I Made. Secondhand Serenade, Fall for You. And Lifehouse, Whatever It Takes.
Oh, wow, that's a really good playlist.
That is a good playlist.
I listen to those songs over and over and over again.
Wow. Okay, besides your books, Lynn would like to know, who is your book boyfriend and what books are they in?
I have so many book boyfriends. I'm like a whore. I have to think of them. Wesley from Cassie May's Switched, I absolutely love.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely. Lucky Romo in Tony Blake's Destiny series. He's in Whisper Falls. I loved him. Who else? And then, I don't know, guys, read the Searching for More series. I don't know the name of it, but Schooner Moore, I think that's how you say his name. But it goes back to when he's like in his like late 40s, but it goes back to when he was in college and when he was in college. Loved him. And who else? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. That's really sad. There's a lot more.
Hard. It's hard to keep track.
You put me on the spot, too. I'm like, I start keeping track of them. There's a lot.
Yep.
I can't think of it anymore.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Carolyn has a question. She wants to know, if you could go back and fix one mistake in your history, what would it be?
Whew. That's a deep question. You know what? I've probably made a ton of mistakes, a lot, but I feel like that's what got me to where I am, so I wouldn't change anything.
Good.
That's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
Thank you.
I have a question just from me, because we are both obsessed with the Vampire Diaries.
I am too.
Stefan or Klaus?
Okay. So, this is going to be long. I was Team Stefan from day one, and everyone was like, Team Damon, and I'm like, absolutely not. Team Stefan, but these last 2 seasons, Stefan can just go away. I love Damon. He is now my favorite. I wanted Klaus and Caroline to be together, but now I'm kind of like in the Stefan-Caroline thing, so I'm kind of okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No, I want Klaus to marry me, so he's not married enough.
I'm guessing you're Team Klaus.
I'm definitely Team Klaus. All the way. All the way.
I still haven't watched the originals finale.
It's real good.
Is it? Okay, I gotta do that.
Awesome.
Seriously, doing that spin-off series was genius.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
I don't know how I missed that last one, but yeah, I love it. And Klaus is amazing. I mean, he's the best.
I know. That actor, what's that actor's name? Like, he's so good.
Joseph Morgan.
Yes.
I will be Ashley Morgan one day.
You are a fangirl.
She jumped on that.
She knew it right away.
Though I have to say, I like Elijah, too.
Yeah, he's pretty to look at.
Yeah, he is. He's nice.
Mm-hmm. Any of them. I'll take any of them. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
me too. That's a good-looking cast.
Yeah. April has a question. She wants to know, what is the first book you remember reading?
Boy. Well, if you want to go way back, I remember picture books. I used to go to the library and get Clifford the Big Red Dog and the Stupids and Amelia Bedelia. And then after that, actually the first book I remember really reading and enjoying was I can't remember the name of it. It's Lucky Stars, I think, or it was actually about the Holocaust, but
Number
it was
of the
like
Stars?
Number of the Stars, yes.
Oh, I remember that one.
It was like
a good one.
Yeah, that's like
That
the
is a
first
good one.
book that I read that like I could not put down and was really into.
That
That
is a
one,
good book.
yeah, that was a great book. And what was another one? For some reason, Lord of the Flies I actually really liked. I don't know why. Everyone hates that book.
I think everyone hates that book because they have to like read it during school.
Yes.
Do all the papers on it and everything. I
Mhm.
think if I didn't have to do all the papers on it, I would have liked it.
You would have liked it? Yeah, it was the first book in school I read that I actually like paid attention and actually did the papers, so maybe that's why I liked it.
There you go. I hate Grapes of Wrath now because of school. I can't.
I never had to
book.
read that.
Oh, you're lucky. It's
yeah.
bad. Sorry, any Grapes of Wrath fans, but that book is terrible.
I never had to read any of those books. Like the ones I said I read, and everyone says they read, there's Grapes of Wrath, and then there's 1984, I think. I never had to read that.
Mm.
Yeah, I
never
had
had
to
to read
senior year.
To Kill a Mockingbird, never had to read that. I read it on my own.
Really? Oh, that one's that one I liked.
Mhm.
Yeah, but in my school, I feel like we didn't have to read any of these books.
Do you know, I read an article the other, like maybe a couple weeks ago, I forget where it was, but people were saying that there's all these petitions to make Harry Potter a book to be read in school and discussed.
Well, you know what?
And I'm like, oh my god,
Okay.
amazing.
I never read Harry Potter.
What?
I know, Cassie Bacon
Send me the book.
I own every single one of them.
How do you own them and you don't read them?
I know. Cassie May gives me such a hard time because if you guys know her, she is like the biggest fan.
Like the biggest I've ever met.
Yes. And I have never read them, but I think that is a great idea because kids love them and it would probably actually get them interested in reading. So I think that's a great idea.
There's so many underlying meanings that happen in the book, so they could go into all the discussions for all the papers that you have to do for everything else. But
Oh, I'm sure.
It's so good. I don't know.
Okay. I'm reading them this summer.
You should. You really, really should. They're amazing.
I have all of them, hardcover. I have them.
Oh,
Sitting on my shelf.
I am so jealous of you that you get to read them for the first time.
Me too. Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding. It is so good. Like, I wish I could, like, forget them and
Really?
they're that good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm reading them. I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
C would like to know what is the craziest thing you've ever done?
Jeez. I've done a lot of crazy things. And I'm not going to be able to think of any of them. I mean, probably in my teenage years, I did just a lot of ridiculous things that now I'm like, was I out of my mind? But I can't really think of any. I just remember like sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night. I think my mom's watching this. Sorry, Mom. At like 2 o'clock in the morning and sneaking out of the house and going and hanging out with my friends on the streets and like thinking like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, am I out of my mind? But yeah, I did a lot of things, but maybe that. I also, when my mom wasn't home, when I was probably 14, I dyed my hair purple and my friend pierced my ear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a wild child. So, yeah.
I can't imagine piercing your own ear would be fun.
No, it
Oh my
hurts.
gosh.
I don't even
My
think she
ear
got
hurts
it through.
thinking about it.
She used to pierce her ear like on the spot. She'd be like, "Oh, she had like 8 going up," and she would just put another one in. She tried mine. I don't know if we actually got it through, but it hurt.
Ow.
Yeah.
No way.
My ear hurts, like, thinking about that. Ow.
Yeah, and they tell you put ice on it and numb it. That does not work.
No.
So yeah,
Oh,
I did a
wow.
lot of crazy things, but we'll keep it PG. So.
Speaking of crazy things, Kim wants to know if you met a porn star, what would you ask him?
That is like the best question ever.
I know. I like that question. Good job, Kim.
Yes. And I am not witty enough to come up with an answer. I would probably ask him, I don't even know. If he was to star in his own movie, what would he name it? Because those names are just hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's somebody there like that sits there and comes up with names for all of them. You know, like that's their job.
That's their job. What a job. I want that job. I'd probably be terrible at it, but could you imagine somebody ask you, so what do you do for a living? Oh, well, I name porn.
That's amazing. Oh, that'd be funny. Wow.
Oh, I know I'm supposed to ask the next question, but I'm laughing so hard. Okay. This one is a funny one too, actually. Kim would like to know, would you marry, snog, or kill Ian Somerhalder, Alexander Skarsgård, or Patrick Dempsey?
Ooh.
Oh, okay, wait. So, Ian Somerhalder, I lost you after that because I love him, so.
Yeah.
Patrick
Alexander
Dempsey.
Skarsgård, Eric from True Blood.
Oh.
And Patrick Dempsey, McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, so I would marry Alexander Skarsgård.
Cool, me too.
I would snog Ian Somerhalder because I listened to an interview with him on a local radio station here, and oh my god, is he boring. Like, after he hung up, the radio station made fun of him. Oh, they were like, that was the worst interview we ever had.
Poor guy.
It's not even just New York, actually. It's Z100. Elvis Duran, I know he's in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's here. Yeah, so they were making fun of him because he was bad. Yeah, and I would probably kill Patrick Dempsey just because, I mean, Can't Buy Me Love. I love that movie, but, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Awesome. Same thing.
Even though with Alexander Skarsgård, I'd probably just come up to his hip bone, but that's okay.
You know.
I'm so short.
That's all good. I just saw a question on the page and then I lost it. Oh, here it is. So Don wants to know, when did you know you wanted to be a writer?
Whew. Like I said before, I feel like I kind of always known, but it probably, like, as far as career-wise, like, this is it, I'm doing it, was probably about 6 or 7 years ago.
Nice. But it's not your full-time day job still, is it? Because you said you work.
Yep, not yet. I'm praying soon.
Yeah.
I am so done with my job, yeah. I hope soon.
Well, I hope so, too. Everyone go buy our book.
Yes, please.
Yes, both of them. Actually, by the Bed series too.
Yes, and the Bed series. I have all those too. So I could stay home and write some more instead of finding like 3 hours a night to do it.
Okay, if you were stranded in the middle of nowhere, I lost it, with nothing to write on or with, how would you keep track of your ideas? Gabrielle would like to know.
Oh man, I would have to find a stick and some sand because I have the worst memory in the world. I don't even know. That's a good one. I'd probably like create a song.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. Yeah. That's one way to remember.
Like, I have no idea.
It's kind of funny.
I need my pen and paper. I carry 6 notebooks in my pocketbook at all times.
Oh. Jennifer has a question. She just heard the part about your mom being your inspiration, and she said, "Aw." Has she read your books?
She reads all of my books. Every single one of them. She probably reads them 5 or 6 times because I have turned her into my critique partner and beta reader because she doesn't sugarcoat anything. Nice. She'll just be like, you definitely need more here. And it's funny because she actually was never into really reading. Like, all growing up, she never read a book. And then I got addicted to the Twilight series, which a lot of people make fun of people for that. But you know what? I'll give that book a lot of credit. It got a lot of people reading. So I gave it to my mom, and after that, she reads like a book a day now. It's insane.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, she reads all of my books.
One thing I have to say, I can't stand Twilight now. I used to love it. I used to be a huge fan of it, and then I saw all the better writing that was out there. But I have to give Stephanie Meyer credit for creating such a good story that got them so interested that made them want to read more in that whole young adult genre, you know? So.
Exactly. Like, I give credit where credit is due. Completely agree. And I just think she created such a great story.
Yeah,
And
it was definitely
the
great.
focus is the story. Yeah, definitely.
Even though I
Right.
wanted to smack Bella a couple of times, but
Yes, she was a little annoying.
she got a little annoying near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movies ruined it for me. I can't stand Kristen Stewart, so like it's just like ever since then I'm like, ugh.
Oh, see, I
You
love
know,
Rob.
It got
Twilight.
even worse.
I
She
love
really
Rob
did.
Pattinson. I have
So
the
do
action. I have the action figure and the blanket.
Oh my god.
I was
Oh my
really
god.
hard.
Can I tell you, I am so obsessed with Robert Pattinson that I used to work for the Golden Globes, and it was my birthday one year on the actual red carpet, so they got him to hug me for my birthday, and
Oh my god.
I died.
Oh my God!
I sat there, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
That is amazing! Oh my God!
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
My producers
So
were
jealous. I hope you got a picture of this or video or.
No, I don't think because it was on the red carpet, so nobody could take pictures of it.
Oh well, that's baloney.
Yeah, like I would have gotten fired if I made a big deal about it type thing. So it was
You have the memory. That is all that matters.
exactly.
Yeah.
She smelled delicious, by the
Did
way.
he?
Oh,
Because I always got the sense that he smelled bad.
me too.
I think everybody
He
says
just sounded
that.
like a stinky guy.
Yes.
But I think he did something for the award show. It was good.
That's good to know. Okay. I always thought he smelled, and it kind of like made a little like, but
No, when I
No.
met him, he was fine. He was fine. He showered before the Globes. So that's good. Random tangents.
Okay, what are some of your favorite authors? Who do you like to read?
oh, I have so many. Favorite authors who I will read anything they come out with is, well, Cassie May. We all know that. Tony Blake, Susan Mallory, Marie Force, her Gansett Island series I'm like obsessed with. Sarah Desson, and is that everyone? Thinking. I think that's like the ones that come out with a book and I will buy it without even reading the back. Oh, and Kristen Higgins, I love her.
There you
Oh,
go.
me too.
She's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I'm behind on a few of her books, but I have them waiting for me.
There you go.
Mhm.
I have a question. So you are traditionally published, correct?
Yes.
So how do you feel about traditional versus indie publishing, and will you ever do hybrid, or do you think
I
you're just
do.
going to go?
I do have books self-published,
Uh-huh.
so under my pen name, Tessa Marie, and I love both worlds, and I will definitely stick with both worlds. I can't
I think
imagine
it's
it going one way. I love both. With self-publishing, you have just total control over everything, so it's like covers and, marketing, and it's so much fun, the marketing. I love that the most. I majored in marketing in college, and that's what I have my degree in, so that's like what I have fun with. So with the self-pub, I love that. But the traditional pub, it's just, I feel like you can get such a bigger audience that way, and
That's
they
true.
help you with that. And, I have a publicist, and she takes care of a lot of things for me. And my editor, I love her. Couldn't imagine doing this without her. So,
Nice. Yeah, I think that's like the new wave of how a lot of people are going. They're trying to do the hybrid thing because I think it's good. It helps push up the industry in general.
absolutely agree. Definitely. And plus, then you can also, with self-publishing, you can take more risks, I feel like, and you can publish something that maybe isn't popular in the market, but you can make it popular.
Exactly. And then the
Right.
publisher wants to take it. So
Exactly.
it's very cool.
What advice would you give to any new writers?
I don't know if you guys know the young adult writer Allison Noel, but when she writes the Evermore series, I loved her.
Oh God.
Yes. So I remember probably 6 or 7 years ago when I really got serious about writing, I went on her website and she had advice for writers and she called it BIC, butt in chair. And I think that is by far the best advice. You just need to sit in that chair and you need to write and keep writing, and you're going to write horrible. You're going to write awful, terrible things, and it's going to be awful and you're going to have to throw it out anyway, but it's the only way to get yourself better. Also, critique partners. Without them, I would not be where I am at all. They are I say they're like my cheerleaders, my lifesaver, like they are everything. They tell me when something's not working. They tell me when something's working, what I need to embellish on. And also when you exchange work with them and you start critiquing their work, you realize as you're critiquing it, you start picking up things that you're like, oh, I do that in my own writing and I shouldn't be doing that. So you kind of learn from doing that too. So critique partners and butt in chair and practice and write crap. It's the only way to learn.
True. I've always heard from a lot of authors that like their first book is complete crap, and they like the first time that they ever sit down and write, not the first book that they actually publish, but the first time that you actually just write, it's crap, and know that it's crap, and you will get better from there.
Exactly. I mean, I queried for 5 years before I even got an agent. So you gotta, if this is what you want to do, you just gotta stick to it and not give up. I also queried 5 books before I finally landed my agent, so I wrote a lot of books before I got there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's awesome, though. That
Don't give
you
up.
stuck with it. Yeah, don't give up.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So Kaylee has a question. She wants to know who would let you win in a dance-off, you or Cassie May?
Cassie May. No question asked. No question asked. Me and her, and she sings better than I do too.
I totally want to see some form of dance-off between you two.
Right.
Like, I feel like we need to film this.
We need to do this. We have to. She will so be on board. Me and her drove. Because she flew into New York, and me and her drove to Minnesota together. It was a crazy road trip, and we were singing and dancing the entire way. And yeah, she's 1,000 times better than me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I can't dance. I have no rhythm at all. It is sad. I am awkward, and yeah, it's bad.
Oh, that's fun though.
That's a great question.
That's an awesome question.
Good job.
I like that one.
The infinity symbol is big, and once again, do you personally have any symbols that are special to you?
I actually have a writer talisman. Is that how you say it? I can never say that word. That my mom got me actually when I decided I really wanted to start pursuing writing at a Renaissance fair. And it kind of looks like a star. I can't really explain it. I wish I had it here, but that symbol means a lot to me.
Very cool.
Cool.
I know I can't pronounce half the words I said. But it does.
Okay. You're faking it. I couldn't say your last name, so.
Hey, you got it.
I had to ask Ashley how to pronounce it.
That's okay. It's spelled wrong, so. It's a hard one.
It does not sound like it's supposed to sound.
No. It's Crayola with a P. That's what I tell everyone.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you write both NA and YA. Which do you like better?
Ooh, good question. I don't think I like either of them better. I kind of stumbled into new adult. I always stuck with young adult, so I think if I would like one better, it would be young adult just because that's what I started with. Mm-hmm. But I'm loving new adult. I love that like the characters are older and you can like go more into the relationship, and I feel like with new adult there's more like with young adult you want to think there's a happy ever after, but at 16 it's kind of like I mean I'm still with the same guy from when I was 16, but that doesn't happen for everybody. But I feel like with the new adult, with them in college, there's more of a chance of that, and it's more, to me, a little believable to think that there's going to be more after.
Yeah. Once again, there's a school shooting. Josh gets involved in a school shooting. What was it like researching that? Like, did you come across anything particularly scary or interesting or anything like that?
Actually, with once again, so it was after the school shooting, and it was 2 weeks, and he's recovering. So I wanted to make sure that I got it right. I didn't want to just make things, not make it accurate. So I did a lot of research. I watched YouTube videos on people that had gunshot wounds and how they cleaned it, and it was gross. And I felt for these people, and there was a lot of times I had to look away, but I didn't know how to like describe what it would look like and how it would look like, so I had to watch these videos. I found different websites where people who got shot would talk about their experience and like the rehab that they went through, because I read some books and it was like, I remember the person got shot and 5 days later they're walking around and they're perfectly fine, and that's not usually the case at all. So I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. So yeah, I did a lot of research on that, and you seriously can find anything on YouTube.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Wow. Going off Ashley's question, how do you come up with the ideas for your book? Like, how did you come up with the idea to do the school shooting and things like that once again?
Started with Never Again, and basically I was home from work that day. I don't even know why, and it was the Virginia Tech shooting had just happened, and I was home, and breaking news was unfolding, and all I could think about was who, like, there was the people inside, and we've seen things, I feel like, from their side from different media, like with TV shows and movies and things like that, but I always wondered about the people on the outside, like family members and friends, and what they're going through, knowing that it's potential someone that they love that's inside that building, yet they can't get any information. And I kept thinking about them the whole time I was watching the breaking news, so I figured I wanted to write a story from someone on the outside's point of view. But then Josh's voice was so strong, and I had to write his story too.
Yeah. Yeah. I love him.
Me too.
Going off of that, actually, Rachel would like to know which one of your characters would you want to date?
Oh, that's such a great question. Oh my god. I don't even know. It's such a good question. I don't even know. Can I have all of them?
I mean, you could.
I kind of. I don't know.
I think I want Ryan. If I can have Ryan.
Ryan's
from,
amazing.
King size beds, yeah.
Yes, I love Ryan. I love Ryan. But I don't write Ryan, so I feel like I can't say he's one of my guys, because Cassie writes Ryan, I write Lexi. So it's really between Zach and Josh. I like... Josh has a good sense of humor. I'd have to pick him. I like to laugh. I need to laugh.
There you go. Laughing's good.
Yes, definitely. Whew, it is hot in here. This humidity is finally getting to me. I shut my front door so I wouldn't hear any noise, and I'm like, that was a big mistake.
Oh, no.
I'm just letting everyone know that I'm sweating. Okay.
Well, you were telling us about, before we went on, she was telling us about her hair fan.
I lowered it so I wouldn't have, like, the flop going.
It could have been your glamour shot. It would have been okay.
I should, and I moved it further away, too. I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? It is humid here.
Oh, that's funny. Vanessa wants to know, are there any of your characters you write about inspired by people you know in real life?
I feel like I take little bits of things from everybody and kind of infuse it into all my characters. So I'd say yes, but not one in particular. So a lot of my characters also take on my traits too, even though I don't mean for that to happen, but they do. So, like Lizzie in Never Again bakes when she's upset. I do that. Josh is stubborn. I'm stubborn. So they all kind of take on a little bit of me, but I do take things from other people as well. Actually, my first book I ever wrote was actually about me and my friends growing up, and I would actually love to rewrite that because it was fun. We were a crazy bunch.
Oh.
So those definitely, but yeah.
Cassie just posted on the event page about the dance off. I totally win. Got the moves like Jagger. Just to let you know.
That's really funny.
She does. She really does.
I'm so serious. We need to make this dance off happen. Like, I'm tempted to invite her to this. Make it happen like now.
I feel like I need a couple glasses of wine first. I am so awkward. It would be so embarrassing. But I'm all for it. Hey, why not? You can't make a fool of yourself, you know. She's hilarious.
Oh my god, that's too funny. So what are you working on now? Like, what's the next big project coming out?
I'm working on quite a few things. Nothing's really set in stone yet. Me and Cassie actually have our next book in the Bed series coming out, which is True Love and Magic Tricks, which is the prequel to the Bed series. It's about the best friends, Nate and Kaylee. I love them. They are so funny. So that'll come out in July. I'm actually working on Justin's story and hoping that my publisher will pick it up. So we shall see. And I'm in love with him, absolutely in love with him. He might actually become my favorite. I'm also working on a young adult book about bullying, which I actually worked on. I wrote this a long time ago, but I'm rewriting it now, and hopefully that goes somewhere because I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm tooting my own horn. It's awesome.
Well, no, it's one of those. It's important, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Out in
So
public.
I've been doing a lot of research in that. I wrote it probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I decided that it really needs to come forward because so much is going on with like the school suicides and things like that. So definitely working on that. And then I have like 4 other books that I'm working on.
Nice.
It's always something. It's
How
never ending.
How do you keep it all straight? Do you have like notes everywhere?
I do. I have notes everywhere, and like I said, I have 6 notebooks, but I write things, and I don't have one designated for each book, so I'll be like flipping through, like, oh, what notebook did I write this in? I knew I wrote it down somewhere. And I also have a problem with the Bed series is in first person. What am I? Present tense. And then as I was writing Josh, he's past tense. So I kept switching, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. I would send Cassie a chapter back, and she'd be like, you switched to past tense again. So I'd have to go back and refix it and put everything back to present. So, yeah, it's hard to and then I'll jump in the same night. I'll go from one book to the other, and it gets really confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I do a lot of rewriting.
I feel like I would have to have like a wall of like everything. Just kind of like
I used to do that, and that actually got confusing. So I'm like, I just keep everything in my head into the documents, and then I try to keep a document that keeps track of everything, because then I start forgetting other characters, the secondary characters, what they look like. So I'll just write in all capital letters, like, what is their hair color? And then I'll go back and insert it in.
Okay, so my favorite scene, personally, in Once Again is the truck scene, where they do the whole infinity and, you know, talk that big talk and all that. So what was your favorite chapter or scene to write?
I think that was the same scene, actually. My favorite scene is when it's the flashback, and Kat, he's at the water park because they worked at a water park together. Is that what you call it? A water park? Yeah. And I just went blank. And he works at the top of one of the slides, and he sees her crying, and he flings down the slide and goes after her. And she's so upset and crying she can't get words out, and he picks her up and carries her to the truck and then brings them to their spot. And I believe that's where the infinity thing goes from there. Right? Look, I don't even know my book. That is my absolute favorite scene. Yes, I love that one. I also loved, I don't want to give too much away. There's one scene towards the end when Josh has to kind of come to terms with something, and I actually cried writing that scene. And I still cry when I read it, so that's also another favorite scene of mine.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Because I'm thinking about the scene, I'm like, yep.
I need to read this book. That's funny. Well, you've certainly convinced me. I need to read it now.
Yay! Woohoo!
Oh, so I have a random question.
I like random.
So it's kind of random. I mean, it's sort of not really. When you are writing, do you actually read yourself, or do you try to stay in your writing zone and not really do anything else because you're afraid to like accidentally take somebody else's idea or something like that?
Oh no, I read all the time. Whenever
Yeah,
I can, I read. Yeah. I'll be writing and I'll be like, okay, I'm done with this tonight, and I'll just go sit and read a book.
that's good.
So, yeah, I don't think I've ever felt like I would be afraid of stealing anybody what they wrote.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, everyone has their own voice, too, so it's hard to kind of steal anything.
Right.
Hmm.
So.
Rachel would like to know if you've ever been on a writer's retreat, and was it awesome, winky face?
Winky face.
I think this is Rachel, who I was on a writing retreat with, and it was amazing. So it was me and all my critique partners, actually. Well, not all of them, but this is when Cassie flew into New York, and we drove to Minnesota, and we did that, I think, in 3 days. It was
Wow.
a 21-hour drive. We stopped in right outside of Chicago on the way there, but on the way home we did 22 hours straight back, 21
Oh my
hours.
gosh.
But yeah, it was in Minnesota. I think we were there for 2 days before we left, but it was amazing. I mean, just hanging out with, other writers and people that I consider my best friends and never met before. It was just amazing to be able to be in the same room with them, to go out to dinner with them, just to hang out and just to talk writing stuff, because sometimes, you can talk writing stuff with other people, but if they're not a writer, sometimes they just don't understand.
Hmm.
And they don't really care about your characters and stuff, and you going
Right.
on and like, oh, well, how should I figure this out? So, yeah, it was amazing. If you're a writer, you have to go on a writer's retreat. We're hoping we can continue it, at least do it like once every year, or every 2 years.
Yeah. I think they're important because they help you just kind of stay grounded in the industry,
Absolutely.
Having friends and networking and things like that is really
Absolutely.
important.
Yes, they are, like I've said before, they're my lifeline. I couldn't do it without them.
Hmm. Speaking of writing retreats, do you ever go to any of the conventions?
No, I haven't. I'm dying to. I went to BookCon this past couple of weeks ago.
At BEA?
Yes, but I found out when I got there, because last year it was BEA, and that was it. And this year I got the same ticket, and I got there, and they told me that no, it's just for BookCon, and they had separated it, and it was so disappointing.
It was really weird. I was there too. It was
Were
really,
you?
really, yeah, I was. It was so weird.
It was weird. It was so tight. It was so like, I felt like, I don't know. It was such a letdown and such a disappointment. I went with my mom, because I do everything with my mom, and we had so much fun the year before. I mean, it was the most amazing thing ever. And then this year, it was a bit of a disappointment.
It was just odd because like for some of the authors they would have lines that started at like 6 in the morning, and then like there was a 2-hour line for Grumpy Cat, which I admit I waited in the 2-hour line for Grumpy Cat.
I saw his butt. They held him up, and I saw his butt. I was very happy.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, like I was expecting so much more out of it, but it was just kind of like, all right, stand and wait in line.
Did you go the year before?
No, I've gone to like RT and Utopia and things like that, and it's so different. I guess because they're a bit smaller. I don't know. This one just felt like.
Last year was amazing. Like,
really?
I mean, you couldn't tell enough people about it. And this year, it's like they cut it in half and threw us in like a corner, and it was so crowded. And I waited on one line. I just wanted to see Jennifer Armitrott. I think that's how you say her name, Jalen.
Yeah.
I waited on that line for an hour and a half, and it was not moving. And finally, they're like, if you want the book, you can take the book. And I was like, I have other things I have to do, so I wound up just taking the book. And it was such a letdown because I really wanted to meet her.
I almost like wish they would have done it for longer, because I think that would have helped with the crowds. That's what they do with like San Diego Comic-Con, even though the crowds are still insane, but they have it for those multiple days in order to help something like that, you know?
Oh, and forget it. They put books out and like, oh my God, vultures. People were like pushing you out of the way and attacking you. It was like,
oh, yeah. I felt a little concerned for my safety at times.
Yes. And then the best was there was like these two 12, I guess they're like 12-year-old boys, and they put, I don't know if you know Lauren Dane books down, and some of her books could be like pretty sexy, and they grabbed them and they're like, ooh, and they put them in their bag. I'm like, you should not be reading that.
Oh, no.
And they're like, I don't care, it's free. And then I think they took another one. I was like, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yes. But yeah, I would recommend BEA, but not BookCon. I
Rachel
totally
would
went on a tangent there. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
Rachel would like to know. Well, she said she cried when she was reading Never Again. Do you ever cry when you're writing?
Yes. I think I said I cried when I wrote that scene
Mm-hmm.
in Once Again. I also cried in Never Again too. I cried during the scene with Liz when she doesn't know what's going on at all. I cried probably through that whole scene. And actually the book that I'm working on too, the bullying book, I cry a lot writing that because that's just, it's very dark and sad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, and then my boyfriend's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, it's a really sad scene. I can't help it. And he's like, aren't you writing it? I'm like, you don't understand.
Do you think you become the characters then when you're writing scenes like that, so that you feel what they're feeling?
I try to take them on so I can get all the emotions right. So, in a way, yes, definitely.
That makes sense. Rachel has another question. She wants to know which of your girls is most like you.
Which of my girls is most like me? I want to say, well, I'm like thinking Liz, but so many people hate her for some reason. So I'm like,
See, but I think you're like Liz too. That's who I would say.
yeah, I feel like it's Liz. I mean, so many people hate her, but it's a toss-up between Liz and Lexi, definitely.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had a question there, but I think we already asked it.
Describe Once Again in one sentence. That's it. One sentence.
Oh my God, I'm on the spot. I don't know. I actually have a sentence for this, and I can't think of it right now. I guess I would say that Josh has to reconcile his past in order to move on, or to have Kat part of his future. I don't know, I'm so bad at this.
No, it's good.
I'm good at writing really long-winded things. Like when I have to do like a tweet, it's like I'm sitting there like erasing it because I keep running out of space.
Damn, 140 characters.
Not a lot at all.
No, it's not. Well,
I sound like such a dope.
Danielle wants to know if you ever do signings in Northern California. And tailing on to that, do you ever do book signings in general? Like, do you go to like events for book signings?
I have yet to do a book signing. It is my dream, and when it happens, I will be tweeting and Facebooking about it, and I will let you guys know.
Come to Northern California. Hello.
I've never. Minnesota's as far as I've gone west. Like I have never ventured that far, so I would love to.
Well,
so fingers crossed. If the books have to sell, so as long as they sell and I can have that opportunity, then absolutely.
Well, fun.
It's not up to me most times, so.
So everyone go buy a book so she can do a book signing and then hopefully get to Northern California.
Yes, right. Please.
So there we go.
Just plug myself.
Exactly.
There's no shame.
Oh, wait, no shame. No shame. We're coming up to like the last 5 minutes of the chat. If anyone else has any questions for Theresa, you can tweet them at us at the Book Affair chat, or you can post them in the Facebook event group that is going on for her party or for this actual chat itself. Do you have any like last minute like things you want to say about your books, of why people should read them if they haven't?
Here goes the no shame again.
Love yourself.
I try to put a little bit of everything in my books. So if you like romance, you'll get some of that. If you like humor, you'll get some of that. I also try to like go. The stories are a little deeper, so if you like that too, there's a little bit of something for everybody in all my books, I think.
Well, you have me sold. I need to read them now.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
So excited.
Yay.
Yay.
Cool. Well, where can everybody find your books? On Amazon and on all the fun sites?
All my books are on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. My books that are traditionally published, so once again, Never Again, they're all ebooks right now. Hopefully one day they'll be in print. I'm fingers crossed. You can also get those on iTunes, Kobo, anywhere where they sell ebooks. And then the Bed series, you can also get, those are just Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but you can also get those in paperback if you want on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Yes! I just got to so excited. Yay!
Total fangirl moment.
I love it.
That's amazing. That is so wonderful.
And I finally mailed them because I am the worst person.
Oh.
Going to the post office is awful.
Yep.
My husband's like, wow, she packed a lot of books in this little envelope.
Because I'm like, it's what I had, and I'm like, I'm getting those in, and I'm not going in that post office buying anything. I'm like, I'm going in, I'm dropping it, and I'm leaving it. It's sucked in there. They start asking you questions. I get so confused.
I'm just imagining you like grabbing like a huge bag of stuff and shoving it into like this little tiny thing and being like, here.
That's exactly what I do. Whatever I could fit in there, and I will just keep pushing. Like, and then I fold it over.
They must hate you at the post office.
Oh, they probably do, but I usually send my boyfriend.
Nice. Nice. Alrighty, well, Ashley, do you have any last minute questions? Not to put you on the spot.
Right?
Yeah. When will Magic Tricks be released? Do you have a release date yet?
We are aiming, and it's pretty much set in stone, July 17th.
Woo!
Fabulous.
So,
Awesome. So mark your calendars.
yes,
Yes.
it's going to be amazing. I love that book. It's actually a novella, but it's still awesome.
And it's going to be free, right? That's what Cassie said.
Yes,
Ooh.
it
Even
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Even better. So people,
That's
really
our
mark your
gift to you
calendars.
guys. Yes, you are gonna want it because Kaylee and Nate are just awesome anyway, and they deserve their own book. So
Yeah.
we're
Great.
excited.
They're totally fun.
well, I can't wait. Thank you so much for being on the Book Affair chat with us tonight. It was so fun talking to you. You're kind of hilarious. So
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. This is my
course.
first video chat. I'm like so excited.
Oh, it's fun. And it's airing live right now, so anyone can go and watch it later on. So, which is great.
Good. Well, all my awkwardness.
It's okay. It's allowed. Alrighty, well, thank you so much again, and thank you, Ashley, for helping me host out today for Jesse. And we will see you guys next week.
Thanks
Yes,
again.
it was way
Bye,
fun. Bye.
Bye. I'm waving. Can you see?
Oh, there you go. Bye.
Bye.